welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra and I'm watching I'm 6 minutes into the discussion with how to overcome fear as an entrepreneur and business owner with Joe and his lovely wife. So I was kind of like, a couple things have already come up for me, which is the love sign that's behind you. There's definitely a lot of love in this space with the 3 houses. There's 2 red and 1 white in the center. There's something about 3. And then at some point in the beginning, and remember I'm only 6 minutes in, I saw a bunch more trucks because this is a moving business. You shouldn't be working in the business, you should be working on the business. It's always a philosophy in the normal business mindset. Meaning, Joe, you should not be driving the trucks. You're a control freak. And you made it a point. Why? I'm not really sure how you make $5 million or something. And Tracy makes, is it Tracy? Makes a shitty salary. And she's very resentful of that because she does do a lot. Meaning she needs her part. Another part that came up is the husband and wife working business relationship, meaning you and him probably have more arguments than you should have because of your business together. And if you didn't have those things, your marriage would be golden. The moving business is a very, very rough business, meaning you have to have some hard working folks. And that's the hard part, which Gary is not comprehending because he thinks millennials aren't lazy. And they're lazy. Meaning it's like 1 in a million finding a hardworking individual who wants to work out all day. Not to mention work out all day, but who's honest and trustworthy. So in order to find those people, it's almost like you have to, you're doing such a big service for humanity, by the way, because moving is not an easy thing. And for somebody who has been a single female living in Colorado with no family around, thank God I had friends. However, a moving business I wasn't able to afford that either. So it's like balancing out the cost versus the work to the employers. This business is really challenging. So let me move on a little bit into the thingy bob. I do see a lot more potential for growth in this particular business.
If you do anything about the company, it's going to be a different story.
And if you do not turn your freaking phone off,
in Clifton, New Jersey, doesn't give a fuck about it.
It's like, what in the hell is your problem?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I know you touched upon, like, what happened to the ones we did hire. Like, I jumped in with all my effort for literally 6, 7 months. Side by side, on the phones, letting him listen to me. Wookie was going well. I maybe just bad luck with his health. And then we were recording and hearing the messages when I wasn't there. And I was like, let me step away. Let him do his thing. And then hearing it is just...
that's the part I don't know how to get over, that cringe of like, I wouldn't have said that.
Right.
It's so awkward.
So I remember how I said control is a factor here. So you're going to run all your employees off if you continuously try to control the shit out of them. What you need to look for isn't someone who's going to talk like you, but who's going to have the honor and integrity like you. Meaning you want someone who is multidimensional. You want a multidimensional business, because what you probably don't see at this time is that you are attracting a specific kind of client or customer. And if you can hire someone who is outgoing, who has not a schmooze factor, but a personality that's workable, that's caring, that's trustworthy, then you'll, and that might be the same as you, but might be different too. You want to know, it's like wanting the client or customer to know that their stuff is going to get there safely. Like you have to have like the facts down. And then the business will come based on the energy that is being delivered by the person that you hire.
you didn't potentially compensate enough for the right kind of person.
Correct. That's probably what it is. It was a wrong person, maybe not the right.
Or you don't understand.
It's the wrong
You were
person
looking
for
at
sure.
Yeah.
You weren't looking for a unicorn. You were
Secrets.
looking for a unicorn that was
There's some
selfish and
secrets in this
you.
company. Not from you two.
Right, we're looking for
Not
us.
looking for something else. Not only us, no, somebody that you didn't have to pay that much, or at least not like
You're right.
right? Somebody that you didn't have to pay that much, that you weren't going to give equity to,
Yeah.
that was going to take no shine away from you. You were looking for a selfish unicorn, which is different than looking for a unicorn.
True.
I am not denying
Yeah.
one word that you are saying.
Listen, this is the beauty of like being around small businesses my whole life. Like, I really know this shit, and like I'm so pumped for you guys, not because I'm pumped because I'm on fire here and nailing it. I'm pumped because you're ready.
If you sit in another white room, are you in a crazy house?
By giving some kid, the 27-year-old you, 5% of the company that he or she earns out over the next 3 years, who's going to double.
How can you
business,
even
and
sit
double
in that
the
place is what I
because
wanna
he's gonna
know.
come to you and be like, you were fuck faces. I took this business from 5 to 10, and I only earned 10%.
You not only
What do
distract the
about it?
person that is trying to have a business conversation, you get that this is all destroying humanity, correct?
And then the other question is,
Yep.
like,
You just called him this man is a humble man. This man is not looking for a unicorn or something about someone stealing his shine. This man is a leader builder.
you pour the gasoline on.
However, she probably is a unicorn wannabe. So there is a little competition between the two of them in that department because once again, it has to do with money. And she's not getting paid enough.
On this.
Yeah,
We like put our own brakes on it because then it's like
You can't handle it.
we're getting the guys
Right,
just
labor
to
shortage.
the moves.
And-
The news on that's going out in 12 seconds. You're gonna have people that work at Verizon right now making $200,000 a year driving trucks for you in 6 months.
Mm.
You have no problem
This
on that.
this
That game is about to come over in about another
two of you are on two different wavelengths.
8 weeks.
And that's because he's in some weird apartment. You want to get that with him, with her, you're not going to get the same information
Because we have multiple
that
way with the
you
trucks.
deserve to get in a
Thankfully, that one was not
confrontation.
just our problem.
Yeah.
And you probably got in a fight after this.
Printed unlimited money.
And this is what he is up
Now
to,
that money's been.
which is why my patience is thin with him and I can barely stand to look at him.
All right, so then I won't use that excuse anymore.
That's definitely not an excuse. You won't need
That's
to.
been a good one for me.
Yeah, exactly. But that one is to your point. I love how you said that. Good for you. So here's what I would say: be prepared to give up 5% of the business. Be prepared to give up 9% of the business in the first year. Hey, Carl, we think you're the guy. We're gonna give you,
That I agree with.
this is a 3-year deal. We're gonna come in. We're gonna pay you this salary, more than you're accustomed to. This is your investment instead of into a truck, into your fucking happiness. If you crush, like, we have to fire you because on the 366th day, according to this contract, you get 2.5% of the company. And on the first
You want to leave it to somebody who's going to take care of the business once you're ready to let go of it.
day of the next
So
year, you get
that's
another
definitely
2.5%.
given.
And then at the end of the year, not only do you get the salary, but in the second year, you get 2.5% of the profits at the end of the year. And the same thing in the next year. And there are a lot of people running around New Jersey.
And your children are not going to steal from
that are
a
better than
man
you two.
who's been working his butt off
That's where we're finally
to
realizing
build a
we're
business,
so
and then all the money that he
exhausted.
made for
Yeah,
you all
guys,
go to those
you-
kids who didn't do
you're
jack
in the
squat.
best spot ever. You grinded because you loved it.
Yep.
Now you've decided you love it a little less. You got the 6 kids and you want to now you can travel a little bit because COVID's like, you just want to live a little bit.
So how do we get
I'm not sure why you're still talking about COVID.
Control thing.
When you realize that
COVID has like been over for a long time.
Here's something
Can I
that
give you a huge insight?
You've been traveling all year.
Saying I'm sorry to a mistake is more powerful than not making a mistake.
So about
I'm
a
never
year's
scared.
worth of mistakes is what you're
Because when I
apologizing
find
for?
you
Yeah,
made a
that's
mistake, I
not
100%
forgiven.
apologize and make it awesome. You know what can fix your fear? Refund people. I do it all the time.
And that's just it too. That's why we have a 5-star reputation, because we do whatever it takes.
Want to hear something
make it
awesome?
right.
Want to hear something awesome? If you had 4 stars on Google, your business would be twice as big. The company
That could easily happen. That could easily happen.
Lenny, actually, it doesn't have to easily happen. If you give somebody 5% of the business, that is a 28-year-old you, it won't happen.
Why are you talking about refunds?
Gotcha. You just stirred up something that I probably we've been
This is like a weird
discussing
interview.
for many years. It's the oldest gentleman we have with our company. He started with me and grinded, and he should have been off the truck 5 years ago. But we continue. We increase his pay, so he's doing estimates on the side. He's doing customers on the after hours, weekends, making additional money. So he has a good life, a good living. We owe it to him in a sense, but.
I'm sorry, but there's something very strange about this. Meaning, this man is your partner. I mean, are you really in the moving business?
He should be the one that should be a percentage owner of the
Get him
company.
off the truck.
But he would have to be retrained. It's not something where he does it the way we want. We're kind of stuck with him. So I don't know if that's the right guy, but I don't want to just put him behind a bar and shoot him.
There's a part of me that says he's not. There's a part of me that says he's not, but you give him 1% because he's family at this point and he earned it,
Oh yeah,
and he's your eyes and ears and double
There you go.
reputation system.
you nailed that. He knows it better than anybody else.
Right. And he acts like us when he's out
Yeah,
there.
I give him 1%. I give the new person 4 or 5, and that 1% is for thank you / you're gonna help this kid succeed.
My head is already like
Everything about your videos
the
now is
percentage
just
of the company
horrendous.
Is something we have never talked about.
Well,
It's been commission. We're always like, well, we can give him this much commission for
It's
jobs.
a philosophical POV. It's your religion. That's why you haven't thought of it. You're entrepreneurs that are like, we don't give up equity of the business.
Right.
Right.
And 10 years in, Garrett, we have.
I got it.
We have a Christmas party. We want to give him something like, oh my God, you're staying with us for 10 years and dedicating your life. I mean, what better Christmas gift? It's done. Done deal. You nailed it.
It means something to him. He gets an extra bonus every year at the end of the year on top of everything else.
Right.
Because that 1% profit interest is going to matter.
Right.
Mm.
It's huge.
James can
Y'all are
do
greedy.
a bunch of Jersey.
You got
business
$5
deals and
million?
stuff. This is a great strength of his, what I just talked about, so I'm sure he'll help.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
All right, we're at time on you guys, so we're gonna go switch.
We're gonna have to
over
revisit
Bobby.
this couple because this was some
What
crazy ass
happens when you
shit.
just take a different perspective, like how it unlocks every single issue.
Amazing. Thank you.
Of course.
Rob, you're up.
Okay, that's quick. Okay, so I don't know if you need any more
I need no
context.
context.
Okay, let's do a squeeze this limit.
What do you want specifically?
Oh, sorry, you said no context. So here's the big thing that I think
I mean,
about.
I know a ton about you, but what's the current question? I mean,
Gotcha. So we as a family are having a lot of fun. Right now making probably around $80,000 a year just making social media content, which is insane. But when we talk to people that seem to be really in the know, like a mutual friend, they're saying like, nah, it should be way more than that. And so for us, it's not about necessarily making more money, but we don't want to leave stuff on the table either, so that we could do some of the fun things that we want to do. So for example, like my kids are designing shirts that they want to sell now that, so whether or not we sell a lot or a little, doesn't
This
matter,
is
it's
a
just
cool
kind of fun.
dude. This sounds like
You know,
fun.
down the road, my wife wants to renovate a house in the small town we live in, like houses. So TLC was interested, but we said no because that's not the brand for us. Like, we don't want it to be about us. But another production company is pitching to HGTV about the small town renovation and that kind of life. So there is some of that. We want to do more media, but definitely a certain brand of it. So I guess the big question is,
I'm hearing
that,
no.
of course, keep doing what we're doing. I just feel like it seems as I talk to other people, I just want to make sure that I'm not blind to what I don't know. And if there's things that we can do to level up, that we want to be smart and do those. So, you know, at 1.7 billion.
It'll ruin your
we
family
haven't
if you do that.
put any money, like we haven't paid for any advertising at all. We
'Cause they'll
haven't
ruin
paid
it.
for any, like,
Because you got a good thing going right now. And if money ain't a concern for you,
See, that's a tough question. I think I like to have the option. Like, I think me personally, I just love new things. So, like, and so that's really hard to say. So, like, if we want to do a coffee shop in a small town, and so I love to make money that way. I love to make money selling T-shirts. I love to make money a brand like coming and saying, hey, do a video for us. We'll pay you $10,000.
why don't
That's
you,
fun.
similar to the last question, why don't you do what the D'Amelios did? They brought in my friend Greg, who worked at UTA, as their business manager.
fucking don't do that
I
either.
think, do you want to be the business CEO, or do you want to still be part of the content creative process? And that's what you have to decide, because everything you just
I say
mentioned.
open a coffee shop.
I don't think I'm good enough at business.
We'll help you.
Yeah, that's.
Do not hire
It's
anyone
like-
Gary recommends.
Give a
I'll
sense,
say-
if I said this is 100% right, which is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
A sense based on how much money you are making, what you'd be willing to pay that person on salary, and then give a commission of the deals, like what feels right in your
The problem is he's got all a bunch of
Yeah,
swindlers.
some of it is right now, I'm just trying to think, I'd have to take a look to see what we could give up. I'd be willing to give up, as an investment, anything that we could, as long as we can still buy food for the kids and clothes.
You pay
So,
$1,000 a year in salary.
well, I mean, we would, but right now we're making like 80,000 a year.
So I would say open the coffee shop and then gear it toward it being like a tourist attraction. So you do everything you're doing and then grow from there. Because it sounds like you're actually more like you're a real creator. And Gary's not. He's more of a look at me. Look at my trophy girlfriend next to me. Look at how beautiful she is. Look at what I have. He's like really turning into that. It's really disgusting.
Right. I don't know.
The fact that he even mentioned the D'Amelios name tells me it's fucking disgusting.
Savings, I don't know your humility of selling stuff. Like I'm asking backwards now.
Okay, yeah, we just don't have that much in savings.
So 75K, yes.
We
Because don't forget, the concept there is, if you bring in the
So now he's pulling out, this man is a modest man and he's pulling $75,000 out as a number, embarrassing his person on stage.
floor at 75, when they're out there,
Yeah.
she or he generates 330 for you, she makes 10% on the 330, she gets 33 and 75, you're pumped.
Yeah, of course.
You're gonna have to make that bet.
Okay. And so right now we don't have an agency. That's one of those things. So you
know,
said
I
just
want you to make that scene. I want you to have a business person internal that lives and breathes the family.
okay.
Because you won't go from 80 to 300 without it.
Okay. Yeah.
An agent, you're gonna be one of many. I want you to be their only child.
Okay.
Joe, James, Julia, I'm thinking former Vayner talent people, something we're talking about. I'm not sure who, but 75K. Let's talk to Hannah, let's talk to Theo, let's talk to Steele. You guys and gals can kick around, so let's think about some people. Remind me where you live, Rob?
So it's called Greenville, Illinois. Just small town of 7,000, 45 minutes east of St. Louis, Missouri.
See? Coffee shop.
Yeah.
You would be so happy just doing a coffee shop, doing it the way I said.
That's the answer, brother.
Because he lives
Yeah.
in New York City and all he thinks about is money. And he says he doesn't, but he does. All he thinks about is fucking money.
And so that's the only way as far as like making
No.
additional income. Now, no,
And that's because he surrounds himself with who he's been surrounding himself with.
He's a business person to be running the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, and I think we need that because I don't know what I don't know, and I think it's
So
fun.
basically, this is your person. All you have to do is train him. This is the man that needs to overcome the fear, and he needs to be trained, and then he needs to practice. He needs to fail a couple times, and then he's on his way. That's it.
Like I love to spend time with the family. I'm not always like I like to try things and just for experience, but I'm not the guy that's going to figure out the bottom dollar, Excel spreadsheets, that kind of stuff. It's not my world at all.
Or know how to get $38,000 out of, almond milk.
Yeah.
Or know how to do
What
the
you
creative
need is an accountant.
fund on Snapchat where you're making $63K from your impressions.
Yeah.
Business person.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Yes. Yeah.
And then you
You're
handle
stuck, because
the.
the agent you'll lose more on.
What's the agent gonna do? The
Always trying
finances?
energy. People always
Do you get that? This is what he's trying to sell you?
Because they're like, oh, I'll get an agent that'll take 20%. I have nothing to lose. What you have to lose is they're not going to do anything.
When this little
Yeah.
twit is literally gonna take business away from you and create some nonsense shit, and absolutely not.
Yeah. So, as far as platforms go, TikTok ebbs and flows. It was our biggest. You called it a long time ago. In the last year, YouTube has gone crazy for us. Like in the last year alone, we grew 500,000.
I hope I stay at 0 because I can't fucking stand
I'm sorry.
y'all.
All shorts. Yeah,
Not
we've
you,
done
guy.
some
I'm talking about Gary
content,
Vaynerchuk
it
and
just
all the
takes
rest
a
of these
lot more
fucking
time.
greedy
It just doesn't get
fucks.
the views, but our shorts, like one short has like 160 million views.
How you doing with Facebook Reels?
So we couldn't get anywhere with Facebook Reels as
I hate
far as getting
Facebook.
the ads turned on, and so we started. So we actually are going to work. Well, Jelly Smack. I don't know if you know the company. They basically are running all of that for us now, and then we're splitting revenue.
There's something
Okay.
fishy there.
Where my hesitation is on that is just because you can't monetize the revenue doesn't mean you should take the attention. Alex
Yeah.
DeSimone is too expensive, I think, James, but you should meet him. Alex DeSimone's a great name. He won't take 75, but he might take some. I like him a lot, James, and I like the Tall family a lot, so there's maybe a scenario where they pay him a certain amount and I'll kick in some money of like guaranteed revenue from marketing. Like, yeah, that's a good name. Definitely reach out to him.
Yeah, and I get that with on Facebook, and so that was we kind of
Bridge.
felt stuck, and again, no, we're just trying to figure out ways to get going, and so with the Jelly Sacks scenario, it felt like we just weren't doing anything there anyway, and it felt like trying to get some traction, and so that may have been the wrong move to go, but
I'm just that's not a big deal. That's like a splinter in a world of cancer. Your cancer is you're not a business person.
okay.
He loves to use that. He loves spreading cancer around. That's her
Yeah.
name is Mona Man, is
Okay.
cancer.
There's really nothing else to say. I mean, we'll keep going because there's really nothing else to say here.
Yeah.
I know too much about how much good quality creative you have. You should be doing everything with anything that touches big and tall culture. There's a ton of business.
Yeah. So do you think coming into, and 3 years ago, I mean, we only started this 20 months ago, but I did take your advice and went on LinkedIn and messaged every company I could think of that, and even, any product that we use at all. But we nothing, I'm just, the last thing is like, that never led to one deal. Yeah.
Because you're not good enough at it. Which is okay. I got F's in school. It's what I didn't know. at the
Cry me a
time,
river.
You really was, were you a natural salesman? It's okay that you're not. Who gives a shit? You need one.
He does the same
All right,
thing she
So
does.
next step, should I reach out to Alex?
No, I just DM'd them right now, so I'll
Ain't
take
the
it from
Joe.
here.
Things Joe
Okay.
and Julia are gonna gather, strategize.
Yeah, we've got this whole thing recorded, we're taking notes, we'll be doing the reach out, and we'll read back out to you, Rob. We'll take the next step for you.
Okay, love it. So totally curveball because I maybe have one more minute here left. So how do you feel about lava resilient Red Devil still?
I feel like I'm going to build the next Sesame Street meets Pokemon, and that everybody that has a Beacon will be happy with me that I did. And obviously, the Red Devil's super hot in our world, so it's
Yeah.
better to have Pikachu than it is to have Pikachu.
Yeah. No, all that's it. Like, and I took your advice. I sold everything. We made money on NFTs, and so the Hollow Wizard 1, Hollow Wizard 2, and the Red Devil. They're just sitting there until
And the Hollow
my kids kill me off.
The Hollow Wizard is a monster.
That's a fun one.
Series 1 Hollow Wizard. It's a monster.
Yeah, it's fun.
If I'm right, even halfway right, it's a monster.
All right. So
All right.
yeah, thank you so much, Gary. Thank you.
Joy, go ahead.
So I know since you have to go, mine really is about how would you reverse engineer the situation. So, traditionally, electrical content companies, so really like service and make the money. So,
She's all about money.
Over COVID, making this sports media.
And her eyes are weird, and her voice is weird, which means she's probably a demon.
And so, what I know, like I said, is good for a family. So, 4% of the kids make it pro, no matter what athletic.
Make it pro.
They invest all this time, right? And I know that 50% of front office staff in pro sports.
Stab me in the chest.
But there's really little information about the pipeline for kids to get there. They have to go to college usually to even make it in pro sports other than basketball. So you're dumping money into that with the hopes of getting picked up. And then you don't. So they end up with debt and bum jobs and really no segue into a life in sports after they played sports for 8, 9, 10 years.
As you know, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so in starting.
If she got her shit together and stopped doing Black Lives Matter, she could probably be a television host.
I started looking at, okay.
And she'd have to get a little bit of a personality.
That the bridge could we do a media company that had like creator games and the kids actually get hands-on experience of being coaches, VP of person, almost like I guess ESPN and X Games, things in reverse. But and because I come from such a very traditional service world, I'm like, okay, how do you make a business that feels like
This is brainwashing from the Vandy clan, by the way, and Gary Vaynerchuk.
Is that the same as like a bazillion eyeballs and then sell? Because that seems very
No, it's you've got a big advantage. It's going to all these Fortune 500 brands and saying, "Hey, remember 24 months ago when you guys all committed to giving so much money to black?"
And then your eyes
businesses
look
and we haven't
fucking
done anything
nasty
yet?"
now, too.
Well, hello, I'm here, and look at this space. And hey, Under Armour, hey Procter & Gamble, hey Pepsi, hey fuckers that you all talk that big fucking game. Write me a $500,000 check to be the sponsor of my fucking thing. Joy, you will not believe how many people will do it. I live in this world. They're very concerned that they haven't wrote the checks that their mouth said they were going to do.
They write them
And
all
Wall
to the
Street
people who
Journal
don't
or
deserve
Friday
them,
wrote out.
like the Vandy clan.
So
Until we do the play of
So they only write the checks to the manipulators and the scoundrels and sell the products to the innocent.
What she needs to do is create a VCon, right? Remember the volleyball lady from the last meeting?
Yeah, Carol.
That's a
She needs to
VCon, by
create
the way.
Super Bowl.
Because just to let you know, I've emailed several organizations to request a meeting without a financial
It's going to cost me $219 to put this on.
exchange, and I got 0
And
replies.
she needs to make a deck, and we need to help because we love to make that deck sellable to somebody for $400,000. Now she's got all that money. She
Money.
spent some of that profit on filming everything, making unlimited content. And basically you're in the media events business, Joy.
Yeah.
You use the content to now put you in a position for me to give you the business track of you should do an event. You gotta make a badass deck, but you have a big advantage, my dear, which has not been a historical advantage in this country.
Oh, because I don't even fucking go
These
there.
companies are in a bad fucking place. They've made big commitments and they have not delivered.
Because
And
she's
the
on Black
client
Lives
side
Matter
will
team and
make
she's
moves.
black skinned, which she just implied.
Out there. So is it?
That's so racist, dude.
Is it
Y'all are some nasty people, man. This is sick. I'm like really realizing what Gary Vaynerchuk is, who he really
I think you need to
is,
do an event.
and how he's
Like,
so
right?
fucking
I don't
phony,
think you-
man.
I don't think you got it like that yet. I think you can pull off a weekend,
He is not who you think he is.
a league.
Yeah, okay.
We start small. Let's do the, youth con, or youth bowl.
Youth
whatever
con.
you want. I don't have all the details, obviously, we're just starting, but.
I want a key word there is
this
con.
weekend- Where do you live?
Virginia.
Love it.
Figures.
Literally, trying to think of brands. North Carolina, obviously Atlanta, but those are more expensive. I like Virginia. I think you can do it there. I like Charlotte a lot because the suburbs of Charlotte, you can get the proper field. Brands like it there. There's brands there, and you put on a fucking Olympics or whatever the fuck you're doing. Like an event, and let Pepsi pay.
Yeah, that just like went way over her head. She's not gonna do it unless you do it for her.
After the fact, once you got the big one, you get the 25K for Piggly Wigglies and 25K.
And then
for
now he's
Bojangles.
gonna try to do the
I'll
charm
do that.
shit.
I'll make sure I help you.
I'll help you.
Now you're on your fucking way. You have a business model.
Now you're on your way. You're assuming a business model. I'm a schmoozer.
Can you lead us through?
Can you even tolerate this guy?
Towards basketball, because Maryland and Virginia as a combo, tons of talent in that region. Like it might be a great place just based on the high schools.
Yeah. We're like football, basketball, football, talking about football. Here's they're like,
Just to let you know, you can barely be heard, which is exactly the problem here with your organization that you're working in.
We want a football thing, we don't really have one. But I'm open to whatever it needs to be. We have.
I'm open to whatever Black Lives Matter wants to do, and I will definitely sell myself out to get there.
So I'm open to whatever it needs to be, but it's a win.
To win.
We'll give you some help for sure. As Gary mentioned, we'll help you build the deck and we'll get you guys running for sure. That's awesome.
Thank you.
He's like, I believe in God. Bye, bitch.
Right now, so $10 fee.
I know you gotta get going, Gary. Is there anything else that you want to impart upon Joy or any of the other guests?
Yeah, Joy needs to make.
I gotta go because me and my girlfriend, we're gonna go and have coffee at some coffee place where she makes a video of us kissing.
At night, then the championship games in the morning, then we have a keynote speech about building these kids up in life. Here are these 4 speakers. We gotta make a real event of that, Joe, and I feel like you can find the Robert Sousa, James, you have your hands in all the alumni of our history here. The Sousa this, and the Kim Garcia that, and a million other things I know you know, James. So just help her make that proper deck, then I'll come in and help her get the meetings for sponsorship. And then she has a business model. Then she's gonna taste blood in the water. She's like, oh shit, okay.
Taste blood in the water. Oh, that sounds exciting.
Then I can charge more next year, and she's got something.
Will do.
And by the way, Rob,
She's like, that was a
Rob,
waste of my
that's
time.
what a business person can do. Like if I'm your business person, I'm like, why don't we create TallCon at the Javits Center? Everybody on Earth who's 6'7" and over, come.
Tall con. What the fuck is that?
Gary, you're over 6'7"? 6'8"?
6'8", I qualified. That's where Big G comes from.
We might be
Not
both.
Big V,
we
Big
might
G.
be both. We might be both Gary, but we're a foot apart.
Back in the day,
Look up to me.
Gary's over about left-handers.
Fucking
You
can't
go by
stand
both
him.
they
But you know what I mean, Rob? All of a sudden, you can imagine how, if you're making a piece of content every day, like TallCon, Chicago, Hilton, 2023, every single person that it's in your bio, every person that sees a viral video, you know what they're gonna do. Gary's one of those 6 mixed kids is gonna see it. They're gonna send it to Big Gary over there and be like, you should go. Humans, one of the biggest issues in society.
This is like a
pride.
terrible podcast.
The
This
reason
is
we have
terrible.
race and gender, religious issues is
This is, like,
people like
awful.
to team up with their own. A tall conference would be fucking cool. Jokes about being pissed at company. By the way, you can start really making change when you do something like that.
Gary, can you guest speak at a fall conference or no?
They gotta be a little bit, brother. You know what's cool about that? 5 years in, you could change the laws of how much airplane space there is. You can do shit. I keep thinking about the things that culture hasn't gotten to. Like, so I've been obsessed with this concept of beauty privilege. You know, people talk about like white male privilege. They talk about wealth privilege. There's no bigger privilege in our society than beauty.
Oh, gee, what a
Right? And,
shocker
when I think
there.
about the pretty people. Then I think about like, who are we gonna support? Like, being tall. Like, real
He's such
tall.
a hypocrite.
Like, there's a lot of challenges with showers and flights and like real shit.
Yeah, I got some bumps.
So, some fun stuff like that. I just think about where the wind's going to blow.
Yeah, and for us, and we don't want to try to be like altruistic because that's not. I mean, we are, but what we found is that everyone thinks that tall people like have it made, and so the amount, like my girls who are tall and skinny, and I was skinny until
The
I was
fuck are y'all
30
talking
years old.
about?
There's nothing they can do, but the amount of time she's told to eat a cheeseburger and stuff, and how basketball coaches expect more out of the tall kids, and so it's not about that, but that's one of the
It is
gifts
about
that.
If we're going to worry about people's self-esteem, we should worry about every variation. We're aware of what a poor kid's self-esteem issue is.
Oh, shut
We're
the
aware of
fuck
what a
up,
dyslexic
dude.
kid's self-esteem is. We're aware of
He is so
a black
full of
person's
shit.
self-esteem, a Jew in Europe self-esteem. We know about these things. I don't think we talk about someone who's 6'7" at 11, what their problems are. And by the way, I'll go the reverse. When your entire life's value system is predicated on how attractive you are, you should see what happens to these people at 40. There's no greater decline to depression than somebody who's ripping attractive up to 40 and they start losing their self-worth and start doing all sorts of plastic surgery, all sorts of shit. If you've been told your whole life you're something because of this, you can fucking change a lot of things. Father time's undefeated. So I like these conversations. You know, it makes us more compassionate and thoughtful. I look at every person on earth, every moment I move and say, I think about my children, incredibly wealthy, right? I'm like, I would die if I was there. Die. Knowing that everything I accomplished in life forever, people would say to me, yeah, but Gary, your dad did it. That sucks. If you're capable. It's one thing if you're a schlemiel and you're like, fuck it, at least I got a nice life. But if you got it like that,
Literally dating the same thing that he's dousing.
there's nobody, when I generalize and stereotype, by far, the people that I think are most upset are rich white dudes. You never hear that. And I've been around the world, and I can tell you, it's a really
Then
tough
that would be
group.
you because you're rich and you're white.
There's a lot of bad behavior holding up those
All your
facades.
troubles are over, dude. You got you a trophy wife. You got you a $1 million business. I'd say you're good to go. What a waste of time that was, aside from hanging out with the other people who were, a couple of them were up to good things. However, we did uncover that one was a Black Lives Matter member.